.NET 6 Preview 6 is here, which means .NET MAUI Preview 6 is also here with some brand new features for cross-platform iOS, iPadOS, Android, macOS, and Windows applications, all built with C# and XAML. I'm going to do a quick overview of what's new and how to install it and get set up on your Windows PC and also on your Mac, so tune in. Hey everyone, I'm James Montemagno and I'm back again with another .NET MAUI Preview, hands-on preview video. In a way, I've done a lot of deep dives since the very first preview all the way up to where we are now, Preview 6, and I'll do the next preview and then the release candidates and whenever the GA is released, and we'll have tons of content coming out. But I've been trying to sort of minimize these down, give all of you out there what information you need if you're sort of following along with the .NET MAUI journey, and also .NET MAUI Blazor journey too, to get you up and running no matter where you're looking to develop. Some big changes happen in .NET MAUI Preview 6, so let's check it out. I like to always start where I start all the time, which is David's excellent blog post right here. And yes, he talked about not only .NET 6 Preview 6 releasing, but the brand new update for .NET MAUI, the multi-platform app UI that is releasing. And it's all coming in Visual Studio 2022 Preview 2. So now this is sort of like a future looking. What you're seeing is they're all in on Visual Studio 2022 Preview 2, which you can run side by side Visual Studio 2019, but 2022 is where the official support here is going to land, which is very exciting. And also it has this brand new .NET MAUI workload along with the other .NET workloads. We recently had David on the Xamarin podcast, which will soon be the .NET MAUI podcast, and talk all about it. So this is cool. Whole bunch of new things here: flex layout, modals, view clipping, gestures, flex layout, and a whole lot more. Additionally, brand new updates to go along with the Windows App SDK. So let's check this out really quick. He walks through some of the brand new workload installation here, which is pretty cool. Some new capabilities like gestures are now built in. This is actually cool. You can kind of see here, he taps on different things and they highlight each other. Clipping built in to do circle clipping, and then native alerts as well. So here, when we go and tap on different things, it pops up the native sheets because the .NET MAUI toolkit is running native capabilities and native UI under the hood. Also, lots of improvements here on single project, but let's go ahead and check this out really quick. I'm going to go ahead over and simply just bring up my command prompt here in my terminal. And now what you can do is you can do .NET SDK check. What this will do is it'll check to see what SDKs are installed on your machine and report it back to you. Not only the SDKs, but also the runtimes. So here, for example, you can actually do like a .NET SDK install and get the latest versions. I have the latest .NET 6 preview here. And then it shows you all of your runtimes, which I have a lot, obviously. But what's cool is you can now do something called .NET workload list. And these are .NET workloads that go along with .NET itself. So you can imagine there'll be a lot of different .NET workloads, and what the team shipped was a .NET MAUI workload, and then also SDK workloads for Android, iOS, Mac Catalyst, Mac OS, and tvOS too, which is very cool. And don't forget, iOS also includes iPadOS too. So if you didn't have MAUI installed here, all you would need to do is to do .NET workload install MAUI, and you would be good to go. Now, we've been showing maui-check, which is a global tool that you can install over using .NET install. And .NET MAUI is still what you would want to use, the maui-check, .NET maui-check. This is really cool because it's going to check not only your SDKs, but it'll also check that OpenJDK is installed, correct versions of Visual Studio are installed, the Android emulators, SDKs, WebUI, for a WebView 2 for Edge found, and all of those .NET SDKs. So this is going to give you everything that you need. So .NET maui-check is definitely the way to go. But then what you can do is I want to show you some of the differences here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do make dir, and I'm going to do MAUI 6, cd MAUI 6. Then I'm just going to do .NET new MAUI. Now, I don't need to add anything else onto this. When I do .NET new MAUI, it's going to create a project inside this folder called MAUI 6. You can also give it -n in the name, but I like to just be inside the folder where it was created. And then I can just do start dot, and then it'll open the folder here, and I can right click, open with Visual Studio 2022. So you definitely need to use Visual Studio 2022 in this release. You can, of course, compile via command line like I've showed you before. You can do all that as well. But if you want to open up the project, browse around VS and deploy VS 2022, you can still do some of the other things with VS Code and command line. So they're there too. All right, a few things that I want to show you really quick here is that they've actually optimized this template. When you do .NET New MAUI, if it says there's a template update, update those and recreate the project. But one, there's beautiful new icons in VS 2022 Preview 2. But also check this out. If I zoom in over here, you'll see that all of the platforms are now right underneath the platforms folder. That really cleans it up. Just like resources, here's your fonts, your images that are here. And again, you'll have all of your platforms, all that platform specific code that's going to be able to go in there. Now, I also want to point out a few new things that are going on inside of the project. So let's zoom out. And the first thing I want to show you is that there's this new thing called Use MAUI. So this is going to use the MAUI workload. And of course, we're multi-targeting up here. So this one project for the single project is going to deploy iOS, Android, and Mac Catalyst. And of course, iOS includes iPadOS. And then there's a WinUI project over here too for Windows. The team is working. I think they want to combine those all together as much as they can. But for right now, this is the two projects there. So this has all the same information. Remember, .NET MAUI is all about creating beautiful native cross-platform UIs and apps for all the different projects. But one thing that the team actually showed me is that Use MAUI, also there's other things like Use MAUI Essentials, and you can set that to true or false. So if you had a non.NET MAUI app or a non-xamarin.forms app, you could actually use not user MAUI Essentials. There we go. Use MAUI Essentials, and that would bring in the .NET MAUI Essentials, which is the evolution of Xamarin Essentials, which gives you access to hundreds some odd native APIs from cross-platform code. Now, Use MAUI brings that in automatically, so you don't actually need to add that, but I just want to kind of point that out. I think that's really, really neat. It's all included automatically in there. And this is going to include all the same stuff with the MAUI image for the app icon, splash screen, images, fonts, all that good stuff. Down over my startup page over here, same exact thing. We have Use MAUI app config. We're configuring fonts. I also want to point out that we also have some other things inside of here, like configure fonts, configure services that are inside of here. There's also the Use MAUI Service Provider Factory or Use Microsoft Extensions Provider Factory. So if you're doing dependency injection in IOC, you can add that in there, which is really cool. I'll also point out that over in any of the pages, you can now just come in and say using Microsoft.maui.essentials. Check that out. And you can also use native things inside of here too. So if I wanted to do a native pop-up here, this is now allowed. So I could say await display alert, and I could say internet, and then I could do something like connectivity dot network access, and then say okay, for example, and pop up that. And of course, we'll do a toString. There we go. So you can now access native alerts too. So we can increase the count, do pop-ups, all that good stuff. What's nice is that you could also deploy to your local iOS device too. So if you plugged in an iOS device, you can plug that right in. And of course, you can always deploy to your Android emulator. That's what I could be doing right here. And then you can pick which one you want to go to, whichever one you have open, and just hit debug. So it's going to give you everything in this project. And the template here hasn't changed too much. We have a scroll view, a stack layout, a grid, a hello world, and some buttons and some labels here. And again, this is just a single project with all these different things in here. If we zoom into the resources, notice that the app icons and the .NET bot and the fonts are all still 100% cross-platform right here too. So this is going to compile up my Android application and then start it in a debug window inside of my Android emulator, which I have right over here. So here we go. It's compiling and it is deploying to my device. And let's give it a second here and let it deploy. All right, so the .NET splash screen comes up, which again is cross-platform across all the different platforms that it supports. Here we go. And now we have welcome to .NET MAUI. Now, I don't think that hot reload is working. Let's see in this one yet. I'm not sure if it is. I think it was on Windows. I think the team is still working on some final integrations there, but definitely be on the lookout for that. But again, here, look at that. I just hit count. I checked internet and I have internet, which is so cool. And I can check and I can count and I can count up over and over and over again. Check that out. Boom. Really cool. So this is pretty much the same as you would have seen before. Now, if you do want to get it running on iOS, you can deploy to your device or open up the command prompt and debug or launch via the command prompt on Mac OS for both iOS, Android, and Mac OS Catalyst. For Windows, if I set this as my startup, there's going to be one other thing you need to install, which is the new single project MSIX packaging tools for Visual Studio 2022. Now, the Windows App SDK is now bundled, I believe, inside of Visual Studio 2022. So there used to be multiple installs that you would need to do. This is the only one that you need to do to get the WinUI project deploying for .NET MAUI. So I had some problems installing this from the IDE. So I actually hit download and then open the VSIX file, the VSIX file, and just installed it that way. So if you're running into issues, so if you go into the extensions, manage extensions, and you run into issues browsing and downloading it here, just go ahead and download it manually from the website and you'll be good to go. So, but then you should just be able to deploy it over to your device or to your local Windows machine, actually. If you get a prompt up and telling you that you can't deploy, it's because you don't have that MSIX VSIX installed. It's that extension there. So then, yeah, it should just kind of boot up on my local machine. We get all the diagnostic tools, everything like that. And there we go. Now I did talk to the team and they did say that there was some quirkiness going on. We actually get kind of like a rounded corners with WinUI 3. There was some quirkiness going on in this latest one, but I did notice that I think that hot reload was working. It may not still be working. Yeah. So you want to kind of double check that. It may be working for you, may not be working for you. Double check that. I did notice there were some drawings regressions in this build, but you can still get it working, play around with it, give it a look. Now, one thing that I like also is that David always kind of puts together these really nice looking applications with all these really cool things. And you always want to download this Weather 21 project. It is a really nice project that does a lot of the same things. It has all the images, icons, fonts, but it also does a bunch of native integrations. So it adds dependency injection, it adds a bunch of custom fonts, it configures lifecycle events here, which is cool. It has a tray service, a notification service. It has proper models, view models, full MVVM inside of there. And I can pop open this application. And I like the settings page quite a bit too. They kind of show off some of the new features in the weather app. Last time we added gradients into it, which was quite cool. But this time around, the app is obviously very beautiful. And when you go into the settings, you get, the image download from the internet all clipped up. You can pop around and you can tap with gesture recognizers now on Imperial or Metric here. You can tap on support, get different pop-ups that you want here, sign out. You're getting all these different options that you would get with those native dialogues that have been popping up on top of it. So definitely check out the Weather 21 sample. I will put a link in the show notes below so you'll have access to that. Now, of course, you'll want to go through, check and read everything in case I missed something as I was going through my hands-on preview, but definitely give them feedback. You can always go to the .NET MAUI repo, check what the team is up to, how many issues there are, pull requests that are active, projects that they're working on. But you can also come into the wiki. And my favorite part is actually this roadmap. We talked about this and this has been evolving as we went. So in fact, a few different things happen here. First and foremost, there's a lot more than David put in the blog post, but he also mentioned desktop menu icons, device info, native views, so you can embed .NET MAUI views into a non-.NET MAUI app, some new shell styling and modals, tabbed page for WinUI, and new triggers. Now, they're planning .NET 6 Preview 7 for August. Again, I'll probably have another one here. This will bring in app theme bindings, which didn't make it to Preview 4, which I thought it did, but it's here. It's going to have more borders, cross-platform lifecycle events, native app lifecycle events, frames, native embedding, shadows, and a bunch more. And of course, going forward, you have different release candidates and then GA sometime in November. So this is really, really cool. You want to definitely check this out. And there's documentation. So again, to create the applications, you'll need to go here. But I also want to point out that some really nice notes here. So if you want to do the Blazor, .NET MAUI Blazor, you'll want to actually check the ASP.NET web here. There's a bunch of other workloads that you'll want to check to make sure that you're up and running fully. But I do want to point out that you can walk through building your first app, how you can migrate your applications from xamarin.forms, and of course, what other components you'll need to get up and running, and of course, how to use maui-check. So definitely check out all that good stuff. And I really like here, there's a bunch of great documentation on customizing, and here, how to customize mappers. Last week on my live stream, which I'll post very soon to the channel, is probably out already when you're watching this, I actually walk through how you can contribute to .NET MAUI if you're looking to do so. Anyways, I just wanted to give you all a quick run through of how to create new projects, what's new in the templates specifically, and the project types, with .NET MAUI Essentials being bundled right in, which is really, really awesome. Being able to tap into that native capabilities with just a single line of code, no matter what you want to do. And of course, what the team is up to in the future as more previews and release candidates come out. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash it, do all those good things. That really helps my channel and helps this video get it out to more people. If you want more information and me to go deeper on this, or also if you want me to boot up my Mac and get all the things working over there, I totally can. I will say the reason I didn't go ahead and do that for this release is that the team has a dependency to build on Xcode 13, I think it is. I think that's what they said in the blog. Looking. Xcode 13 beta 1. Yeah. So I didn't have time to set that all up because it takes several hours to install Xcode, as many of you probably know. But if you want me to, I'll totally do it. But I like to just kind of run through here on my local machine. And if you want anything else about .NET MAUI related, let me know. I'm also putting out new videos right here on this channel. So jam on that subscribe button and ding that notification bell, because I'm putting out new videos all the time. And many of my videos now are not only for Xamarin.Forms, but also .NET MAUI. When the things are the same and you're coding the same way, I kind of mark that in the title. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I want to thank all of you for all the great comments and feedback that you've given me on this channel and all my videos. And thanks for watching.